Hi, I'm Mike Pehl. Today we're going to talk about aggressive driving and road rage. I'm assuming that you're one of them great drivers who just are calm all the time you drive, but you are going to encounter a road rager or an aggressive driver in your driving career. So what is aggressive driving? What does it look like when somebody is driving aggressively? Well, they come flying up behind you and they slam their brakes on, and all you see in your rearview mirror is the front bumper of a car. They come flying by you with the narrowest gap between you and another car, and they cut inside you. They're going 20 miles an hour faster than anybody else. They run red lights. They run yellow lights. They're weaving in and out of traffic, tailgating. Basically, they're not driving safe, and they're putting all of us at risk. Aggressive driving is very dangerous, and it does cause a lot of crashes. But what that aggressive driver does not realize is what it costs them out of their own pocketbook, their paycheck. Increase in fuel. It costs money to hit your gas and accelerate quickly up to the next car. It costs a lot of money to replace brakes. Brake jobs are not cheap at all. Every time you race up and slam your brakes on, you create that brake pad to get really, really hot. And the more you do that, the more you have to replace your brakes. Brakes can cost up to $1,200, $1,500, and they might have to do that 2 or 3 times a year, where most people do that once or twice in a year and a half. Every time that you speed, you run the potential of getting a speeding ticket, which costs thousands of dollars, increased insurance rates for up to 5 years. So you know what? It costs a lot of money to be an aggressive driver. So here's a story of a really good friend of mine who's the manager of a pretty large organization. And he's on his way to work one morning, and of course it's rush hour traffic, so you know the usual. It's stop and go and stop and go, and some people leave gaps, some people don't, and some people want to go bumper to bumper. Well, anyway, all of a sudden this real speedy driver comes up and goes around him and hits the brake and tries to move over 3 lanes, ends up falling back, comes back in behind him, tailgates him, slams his brakes on, shoots over 3 lanes, comes back over in front of him, gets in front of him, hits the brakes, goes around him, falls back because of that lane stops and this lane's moving, gets beside this friend of mine, starts giving him gestures, thumbs up, but using different fingers, and shaking his fist at him, accelerating around him, being an unsafe driver for everybody around him. So anyway, my good friend just goes to work and kind of backs off, and is what we all should do. And he gets into work that day, and what he has to do that day is he's doing hiring. They have a job position open, and who walks in the door for a job interview? This same aggressive road rager that he just encountered half an hour ago out on the road. The same guy that was being aggressive to my good friend now is getting interviewed by my good friend, and guess what? How much does that cost when you lose a job, a potential very good job for the next 30 years? That is very costly. So the way you behave on the road sometimes could cost you more than you expect. Could even be a job, a career. That is very costly. So let's talk about road rage. Road rage is the most extreme version of aggressive driving. Look at this chart, how much road rage has just grown over the years. 8 out of 10 drivers admit that they've had a road rage incident in the last year of their driving. That is incredible. So let me tell you a story. It's about 2 moms who end up in a road rage incident. They're on their way home from work. Neither one of them thought this was going to happen. Traffic is busy, stop and go. And the mom in the front decides that the mom behind her is following her a little bit too close. So she taps her brakes to back that mom off, the person following her. And the mom in the back does not back off. So it creates more anger to the mom in the front. So to the point where she takes a Coke bottle and throws it back at her car. Come on, who would do that? How upset can you be because somebody is following you too close? So the mom in the back does still not back up. So the mom in the front decides to hold out a fencing tool, a big pair of pliers, like, I'll get you. And the mom behind still doesn't back off. So finally, mom in the front decides to exit. She must have reached her exit. Does mom in the back decide to just keep on going to her own exit? No. She decides to follow this other mom down the ramp. They stop at a red light. And the mom in the front gets out of her car. Why would you do that? She's going to run back to the car that she's been trying to hit the brakes on and get her to back off. She's running back to her. Well, the mom behind, where the person is running at her, decides to roll her window down. Another thing, why would you do that? But anyway, she rolls her window down, and the mom starts telling her, you need to stay off people's butts, da-da-da-da, and spits in her face. Well, the mom behind happens to have a permit to carry a gun. She reaches into her console, pulls it out, points it at her, shoots her in the face, kills her instantly. Over what? Over a little tailgating incident? So now we have one mom going to prison and we have one dead mom. Two regular moms on their way home from work. Neither one of those moms thought their day was going to end that way. Over a little frustration out on the road, my gosh, one of them lost their life. That is tragic. So what do you do if an incident starts around your car? You don't know what you did wrong. Could have been triggered by another driver. Anyway, you're involved in a road rage situation right now. What are you going to do? Well, the first thing you want to do is stay calm. The last thing you want to do is start engaging with that road rager by looking at them, by flipping back their gestures. You don't want to do that. By honking your horn, by saying, what? I didn't do anything wrong. No, you need to create space. The best thing between you and a road rager is space. So if you have to slow down a little bit, let them get in front of you. Remember, they're going to do everything to make your life miserable. They're going to jump in front of you. They're going to slam their brakes on. They're going to try and weave into you. They're going to fake that they're going to run into you. They might hit you. All right, if you have a phone, call 911. Do not stop your car. The last thing you want to do is stop your car and have an incident where somebody's coming back at your car. A locked car is no good when your windows are broke. So you're going to stay calm. You're going to keep that car moving. And what you're trying to do is maybe just, let that person cool down a little bit, but you need to stay away from them to do that. The best thing for a road rager is to give them space and let them cool down, because the more you're involved with them, the worse it's going to escalate to. So create that space between you as much as you can. Remember, if you have a phone, you call 911. You get those police on their way to your location. A lot of people think what they should do is drive to where there's people, a gas station, a mall. I don't suggest that, because a lot of people don't want to get involved in your situation. By the way, they don't even know what your situation is when you pull in there and all of a sudden this guy or gal comes running at you, or a gang of people keeps coming at you. I like the idea to go to a police station, but guess what? Most police stations, there's nobody there. They're out on patrols. That's why you call 911, because then they can dispatch to where you're at. If it was me personally, what I would do is I would find a hospital. I'd drive right to where the ambulances drive in, right at the emergency room there, run right through them doors, and guess what? There is a lot of people that can help right there. So I hope you're never involved in a road rage incident. But if you are, over the next 30, 50, 60, 80 years, I hope you will remember some of the tips that we gave you here. Remember, number one, always stay calm. Always find the way out. I'm Mike Pehl, reminding you to always drive safe and ride safe.